Welcome to Novelty with the brand new Panasonic Toughpad, which will come out end of this year. Of course, we have no price here because there's so many different variations that big companies can order this, and this is not a phone. This is actually a tablet for companies like Mercedes, BMW, Tesla, or anything like that, where we need, for example, a bar scanner, we need outside readable displays, and we need something customized like Windows Phone or Android to run our apps. As you can see, these are completely different devices than we would know from any other phones. Of course, you could use them as a phone since there is actually voice over IP inside. We have a microphone, speakers, anything like that, but there's, for example, no speaker right here on the top, just some sensors and 1.3 megapixel camera. On the back, we actually have a or an 8 megapixel camera, but you can swap that completely out to something else, another module, like, for example, a credit card reader or anything else that you would need that you already know from other Toughbooks. Also, what's kind of cool is that you can take out the battery, the 6000 milliamp battery, which is hot swappable. So if I would take it out, the device would still run since there's an extra battery inside built in, and also of course, then you can just put another one and just continue your work without having to open it up. Here on the side, where we have, of course, the possibility to just charge it via DC in, and of course there's also micro USB plug-in, so we can use it with OTG cable and just external USB devices. But when I will lock it like this, it's IP68. It applies the IP68 standard, which means that we have a ruggedness from up to 3 meters. You can just throw it on the ground, and also you can take it for half an hour under water for 1.5 meters. So you can see here we have some buttons that you can use, like, for example, here the back button, the Windows button, or the search button under Windows 8, which is of course quite handy. Otherwise, we have here the volume control. This is for the bar scanner here on the top, so if I would press it, the bar scanner will turn on. Otherwise, of course, there's the headset port here on top, also behind a little flap to make it waterproof, which you have to of course close tightly. You have the on and off switch right there, and also the camera button right here on the side. On the bottom there's a possibility to use it with docks, certain different ones that are Panasonic made, and you can of course take off the back cover here, which is not possible for me right now since I have no clue how to take it actually off, even though it's unlocked right now, but it's possible. And below that you will find 2 SIM card readers and a micro SD card reader, so you can use it actually as a dual SIM device, and also with 4G or only 3G, depending on what model you want. So there's all kinds of possibilities to use this Toughpad device, and it's really quite nice. You could say smartphone, but of course it's not a smartphone with a Qualcomm MSM 8960 processor inside, as you can see here. And the software version is Android 4.2.2 running right now, which is totally enough for most of the companies that would want to use this. Of course, I can also use here the camera to just show you a little bit how the quality of that is. For example, the front camera with 1.3 megapixels looking quite good here. It could be a little bit sharper, but of course it's just a pre-production device which is handmade by people right now. In the future, and when there will be bigger orders, there will be of course production plans for this one. But of course the front camera maybe is a little bit more interesting, or I mean the back camera, where you can see that we have a nice 8 megapixel camera just focusing quite quickly, and we could shoot some nice pictures. But of course I'm guessing that's not the main reason anybody would buy this kind of phone. So what else we have inside, of course, is a regular Android device. We don't have Wi-Fi right now, but a nice little keyboard. It's not a handy device, you could say, but it's a really handy device if you are working outside, somewhere high in building facilities or buildings, or as I said, manufacturing something. I can actually compare it to, for example, a 5.5-inch device, so you can just see the size. Since it's a 5-inch device with an HD screen, not full HD screen, but looking quite good. And of course in slimness it's a little bit unfair, but yeah, you could look at this. And I have of course also an iPhone, so you can just see that, for example, compared to an iPhone, this is really a really big device, but it's really good to just hold in your hand when you have just maybe a big gloves or anything on, so you guys can see certainly that this is of course quite a small device, or I mean a big device, but compared to an iPhone it's really just tiny. So my name is Balazs. This was the Android and the Windows version of the Panasonic Toughpad with a 5-inch display. Quite cool features here. Thank you much for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and maybe we will get some of these later to just be able to drop them, put them into water, and so on and so on. But until then, you can just throw them around like bricks. Thank you much for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe.